But speaking of big events, Brian, I heard there was a milestone took place recently in the world of pro wrestling and the world in general. The world now that he's shaped in his own image, it's all gone to shit. Vince McMahon's 80th birthday took place at a big swanky fancy Dan type of location in New York where they had the limousines and things, and people were seen. There were witnesses to the attendees of the birthday party.
Yeah, this became a bit of a story. A lot of listeners were sending over, what does Jim think of this? So why don't we just talk about it now? August 23rd, Vince McMahon apparently threw himself an 80th birthday. I don't know if you call that a gala.
What do you mean he threw it for himself? No, that's sad.
Who else?
Even for a purported head pooper, that's sad that he would have to throw his own birth. Are there no? He's got it's just the daughter, the son, the son-in-law. Can somebody toss Vince a little soiree?
And again, maybe it's not the case. Maybe someone else threw him this really big, expensive party. But
certainly his son and daughter had to be seen there, weren't they?
As of
son-in-law, maybe?
The various lists I've seen that list people who were in attendance, no one has cited Triple H or Stephanie McMahon as being there. No Linda McMahon, obviously. I don't know about Shane. I thought I could have saw something with that, but I don't see it in front of me as I'm looking.
Would anybody have recognized Linda? Or would they have just thought that it was a figure from the wax museum that had gotten overheated?
There's almost like a whole side story you could do of like Vince and Linda as like this international diamond thieves. Like they change their look and they get on planes and they have these different looks every time you see them and they look crazy.
But I thought the idea was when you're trying to change your look so you don't attract attention, that you don't change your look to a look that attracts a lot of fucking attention.
Hey, I saw a video of Vince purportedly leaving the party. And again, it seemed like it was all in the middle of the day. But it was him shuffling, or maybe it was just him leaving a restaurant, and he looked awful. Forget about the shuffle and he can't walk. The hair. It's now obvious it's a purposeful look. I mean, it's a choice. He said, give me the Sputnik Monroe. Give me this giant flash of gray hair in the middle of all this completely black dyed hair. His hair was never that black when he was young. So it's a choice.
By the way,
choice.
Right here, right now, I have sent you video of the skunk in my backyard chasing the baby deer. And can you admit right now that's the biggest goddamn skunk you've ever seen in your life?
No, I just saw the video of Vince leaving this party or walking out to the street.
I don't mean the two-legged skunks. I mean the four-legged skunk.
That was the biggest skunk I've ever seen. I've never seen a skunk that big. And it chased that deer. And didn't even really have to run that hard. The deer just would turn around and flee.
And white from one end to the other. It's like some kind of mutant skunk. But anyway, back to the other mutant skunk.
And we'll see what we can do by getting some footage up with commentary at some point in the future of this amazing backyard battle. But Vince McMahon, 80th birthday party. Of course, he has the company 14th and I. No longer a part of WWE, although still a shareholder. And I believe it's still like just under 5%. May not seem like a lot, but it's a lot. Here are some of the names that we know were at his party. The Undertaker, as well as WWE legend Michelle McCool were at the party.
Well, I'm sure they came as a matched set.
John Cena, who seemingly dresses like Vince now, he was at the party.
What is he wearing? One of the gangster suits with the pinstripes and shit, or what?
Seen reports that JBL, as well as Gerald Briscoe, were at this party in New York City. There is a photo making the rounds in this photo from the party, allegedly. It is Drew McIntyre in a tuxedo, Sheamus, Jerry the King Lawler,
what?
Titus O'Neil, and The Miz and Maurice.
Okay, we'll back up. And I didn't mean to say what, like Jerry Lawler would never lower himself to go to Vince McMahon's party. I didn't know the King was flying all the way to New York for birthday parties these days. Everybody else, and Titus O'Neil, I didn't know he was on the Vince's inner circle. The others don't really surprise me. Maybe Miz, he's one of the new guys. No wonder he's had the job for so long. He mastered the art of Vince kissing years ago.
And by the way, that photo emerged apparently because Jerry Lawler sent it out on social media, and there's a little tag at the bottom that it was almost like part of the photo. It says 80th. So people are assuming that must be where it's from. I have footage here.
Anyway, hold on. I was just going to say that the rest of the guys, especially Gerald Briscoe, he's been around him with him, worked for him for 40 years, and Undertaker and Cena have expressed their, admiration for what he's done for them. So I'm pretty sure they couldn't say, nah, Vince, we ain't going to come to your birthday party, or whoever arranged it.
I'm pretty sure more people than the fans realize talk to Vince McMahon all the fucking time. But here's footage someone on Twitter named Danny tweeted out. It is apparently just a van pulling up and people running out of it midday in Manhattan to go to this party. Michael Cole, Booker T, Teddy Long, and Dave Kapoor, aka Ranjan Singh. I think that was like a writer.
I don't know who he is under either of those names, to be honest with you.
I think that's like a writer who became a manager, but I could be wrong. Also,
I said it's nice of Theodore.
Drew McIntyre was quickly getting on the bus in a bad attempt to avoid being seen. Now, again, we're hearing about these names that were there. It doesn't mean that names that we're not hearing weren't there. Again, we brought up Triple H and Stephanie. We haven't heard that they were there. We haven't heard that they weren't there. So they may have snuck in the way some of these people apparently did.
I was about to say, Jiminy, do you want to be, was it like a crush of people waiting to assault all of them if they didn't sneak in because they're such massive celebrities, or were they just not want anybody to know they went to Vince's birthday party?
Yeah, I'm not sure. And that's a question I'm going to ask you in a second. But real quick, as a follow-up, because this was apparently in the paper today, McMahon cited for reckless driving, applies for pre-trial program. Stamford, Vince McMahon, the co-founder and former CEO of WWE, applied for a pre-trial probationary program at the arraignment for his reckless driving case Tuesday. McMahon appeared at State Superior Court in Stamford on Tuesday, where he applied for the Accelerated Rehabilitation Program. If granted, McMahon could see the charges against him dismissed. McMahon's court appearance comes after his July arrest. He was arrested? Did we know that?
He was. No, hold on now. Hold on now, cowboy. I think when you're given a citation for whatever the fuck he was, I don't remember the traffic offense, but going too fast, being unsafe, whatever, you are being charged with that. I don't know whether that may be a misprint or some mistake in their reporting. It's technically an arrest, but I don't think he went to jail.
And someone see if there's a mugshot. That's what we need now.
Oh, good
after
heavens.
You
want to see that after you've seen what he looks like when he's presentable?
McMahon's attorney, Mark Sherman, said the application, if granted, could give McMahon the chance to guarantee a complete dismissal of the case, but still allow Vince to convey contrition and concern for the other drivers, which is his top priority. That's a quote. And it goes into the accident report there, and notably the crash occurred just hours before the announcement of Hulk Hogan's death. He was cited for reckless driving and following too closely, resulting in an accident. He was released on a $500 bond. He was arrested.
What? Well. Whoa. Now, how come nobody said that before? Clean out in plain language.
I'm not sure. In an accident report, state police say the crash happened 9:22 a.m. July 24th. They said McMahon was driving his 2024 Bentley Continental. Wow. In the right lane of the Merritt Parkway, also known as Route 15, north in Westport, when he collided with the rear of a 2023 BMW 430, and then with the median guardrail. Police said a 2020 Ford Fusion, driving on the south side of the highway, hit some debris that had been projected over the center median. They said that vehicle then collided with the guardrail, on the northbound side.
Well,
Jesus.
I told you two things. I told you this is a shit fucking road, and
Yeah.
everybody who responded to our clip on it said the same thing. And that was the person that was allegedly the same name as one of the WWF employees going to work.
McMahon is next scheduled to appear in court on October 16th. So we'll follow up on this story. But the birthday party.
Released on bond.
He was on
Nobody
bond
made
when
a
he had his
big
birthday
deal out of-
party.
Well, yeah, but nobody made a big deal out of them. Hey, we're going to take you in there. I would love to see video of that. Can we, anybody request some kind of body camera footage of cops telling Vince McMahon he had to come with them? That would be pay-per-view material.
That's interesting because, I mean, you think about the fact that the cop was following him already, apparently, looking to pull him over. So he was driving like a maniac for a while, and you've talked in the past about his tendency, in the best of times, to drive like a maniac. So he was going to get pulled over. And then this accident happens. He was arrested for, that's the part that's, again, we didn't hear that previously.
I mean, are we just dumb, Brian, and we missed this completely? Or I thought he got ticketed for this stuff and fucking had to go to court and explain himself.
No, he got charged and released on bond. So he was arrested. But back to this arresting issue, this party.
Yes.
What do you think?
What kind of bird don't fly?
Is there any issue in your eyes with people going to a party for Vince McMahon considering the charges that are out there? And again, it involves people that work for the company and possibly even talent. Should talent shun him? Should fans have a problem with people who are around Vince McMahon now? Again, if you have a problem with that, there's a lot of top people in that company talking to him all the time. Some of us think there's certain people sitting near Gorilla who are only there because they're Vince's eyes and ears. What do you think of this? The idea that people have a problem with anyone attending this party?
Well, it's ridiculous because, God damn it, these are people. And again, remember, Titus O'Neil is the one that Vince suspended for some negligible reason, and then they had a hoopla, and then they made up. But I didn't know he became like one of the family. Like, there's Titus O'Neil with Willie Gilzenberg and Phil Zacco. But these are people that have worked with him for years, have known him for years, that credit him with a lot of what, if not everything, that they have. And, I'm saying he didn't shit on their head. I'm sorry. Do you feel if someone has been really good to you for a decades period of your life, do you really want to say, no, I won't come to your party when you're 80 years old because you do all kinds of weird shit with other people? I don't think the fans should be mad at him. I don't think that the fans should be particularly celebratory over anybody that didn't go. We don't know who the fuck turned it down or had something else to do that night, but he's still got to have a goddamn birthday party, even if poor thing has to throw it for himself. We don't know that.
Don't know that, but we have not seen any reports that, Barry Diller was seen going to this party and Dick Ebersol, like no big players. It's all just people who would have been around him backstage at the wrestling events a few years ago.
These Hollywood people, it's what have you done for me lately? Now that Vince's face is melting and his voice is gone and his gait is a shuffle and his head looks like a skunk, they don't have any time for him. They used him up, and now Lorne Michaels should have been there. If Lorne Michaels should have been there for all the wonderful things that Vince McMahon did for 11:30 on Saturday nights.
Again, I'm going back to my previous thoughts. He's either going to start a wrestling company or there's nothing to purchase. He's either going to start a wrestling company if he doesn't buy TNA, and I don't think that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't. Or he's going to be back on WWE TV once this Janelle Grant case is settled one way or the other. But he's not disappearing. He's not going quietly until he goes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the WWE is going to let him stand up on the stage and growl at people anymore. He's not a pleasant television personality anymore, because not only is he, regardless of what you think of him, even if people still halfway liked Vince, you put him on now, it's a fucking downer for anybody that likes him. Because look at the state of that. And then what purpose would he serve in any positive way? You know, if he wasn't on when Hogan died, then he ain't gonna be on. That's my belief.
And again, he was upset that he wasn't invited there, apparently, according to that interview we did with TMZ. But here he is, mingling with not just people that used to work for him, but a lot of people currently doing stuff with WWE. We'll see where this all goes. But Vince McMahon, whether it's getting arrested for crashing his car into some other executive in the morning on the Merit, or having a big birthday spectacular, he certainly is not going away anytime soon.
Well, and one thing that we now know from his own surgically enhanced lips, they didn't invite him. Because he said, oh, I think I should have been there. What? You know, he would have been saying, I couldn't be there if it had been up to him or something like that. He's sore because they didn't invite him. And that tells me they don't plan to have him over for dinner anytime soon. But I could be wrong. But Brian, all the the constant drama in real life today, don't you just wish you could have a daily fantasy to just take you away from these things?
I guess that's a way to look at it, sure.
If you get to just have a daily fantasy, something that could take you away into something you enjoy, like the football's coming up. You heard they're going to do this again this year, Brian. They're playing the football again this year. They keep getting good feedback about it. Maybe you want to have some fantasies about the football, because I would like to direct the folks' attention to our brand new friends at Prize Picks. Because, Brian, you and I, we make decisions every day, and we're right a lot. And we love talking about when we're right and saying I told you so. But with Prize Picks, being right about things can get you paid, as well as having the satisfaction of being a superior human being. So don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right and a superior human being. They're going to play the football again. What you do is you go to Prize Picks. Well, first you download the app, but everybody knows that these days, Brian, right? The kids know to just, whatever you're looking at, download the app first.
That's right. The kids know this. Everyone knows this. Everyone does this. But you.
Well, we'll see. I'm starting a trend, but they download the app and they go and they say, boom, I'm going to pick that somebody is going to do more or less of something. It's as simple as that. The projections are subject to change week to week, so make sure you check the app for all the latest information, but you can have one of these football players do more of something or less than something. Rushing, passing, pissing, whatever they do. And then when you're right, you get paid. Am I overstating the case, Brian? Am I making it too complicated?
No, I think you're saying it in a very unique way. And of course, what we're talking about is the upcoming, we're talking in English, ladies and gentlemen, here. And we're talking about Prize Picks, the upcoming NFL season. You may think you know what's going to happen. You may think you know so much about football that you have a good idea what's going down this coming Sunday. You go to Prize Picks, you download the app, and you see how good you could do. And of course, Jim, I got Prize Picks on my phone, and I know right now, if you could, you'd be on there just spending money. Well, I probably don't want to say it that way. You'd be on there just having a ball, winning.
Just having a ball.
Winning.
Feeling groovy. Da, 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 da. Because Prize Picks is simple to play. And see, Stacy's got it on her gimmick, even though I don't have her gimmick, because I don't know how to work her gimmick. But she's got it, and we're going to play with it. And Prize Picks is simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in. It's the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 states. And what stragglers are still behind the times? And Prize Picks, folks, puts their users first, so all the withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And they offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more. And injury reboots. Have you heard about this, Brian? If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't come back, Prize Picks will not count it as a loss. So either root for them to do what you want them to do or root for some of these son of bitches just get knocked out early, and that way it won't count against you. Just carry them off the field with a fucking spatula. Anyway, right now, folks, if we've whetted your appetite for more mayhem and daily fantasy sport type of activity that could also result in you being paid money for being right, download the app today and use the code JCE to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Well, that's 10 times as much, Brian. What kind of Igmo would not want to do this right off the bat? JCE is the code to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. You play that, then you're going to get 50 more, and then you're going to be in a potential lineup yourself. And people will start picking you.
No, let's just talk about
maybe the light's going to be in your eyes, so you're not going to be able to see who's giving you the finger. But they're going to say, "Yeah, it looked like him," and then they'll take you out of that lineup and put you in the fucking paddy wagon.
Oh.
Download the app today.
Oh, Jim, you hear that? It's Antonio Inoki. He's saying, "Let's let the people know in a professional way."
Yes, download the app today for Prize Picks. Use the code JCE. $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
That's right. Welcome back, Prize Picks. Happy to have you back on the show. You know, Jim, this Inoki thing, there's a lot of listeners insisting that thing he yells is arigato. I don't think it is. Did you hear that?
No, it's awfully drawn out, but see now, it's a wonderful digital audio recording, remastered. No, because of the emphasis or the accent or the drava, as they say, is over the second syllable in what he's saying there rather than arigato.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
Yeah, I ain't getting it.
I still won't play the stupid song.
Stop. Would you please stop?
All right. It's not me. It's Pelican Jaw.